I want you to answer my question. And you were incarcerated for a period of time.
Arrested by the SWAT team in Las Vegas, the man accused of making a terrorist threat to blow up a building and of making threats against judges here. Joseph Amico is in the Wayne County Jail tonight. He is accused of threatening to kill an attorney and bomb a building in New York City. But before that, as we hear from Jane Flash, there was a warrant for his arrest right here in Wayne County.
Well, Amico was in the midst of a bitter divorce and custody battle last summer. His threats to 3 judges involved in his case and their families and children fill 30 pages. With a lengthy arrest record and knowing he was possibly armed, Las Vegas police took no chances. Bearing down on the home of Joseph Amico, wanted for threatening to blow up a law firm and kill the attorneys inside. Yet arrest warrants filed last August sought Joseph Amico for making dozens of threats against family court judges in Wayne County. In court papers obtained by 13 WAM News, witnesses say Amico called one judge corrupt and threatened that she was going to learn, saying he would post naked pictures of her daughter on the internet. Amico allegedly created public websites to disparage another judge involved with his case and threatened he would go after his son, his baby boy. If the judge shows the slightest bit of disrespect, he will regret it. The harassing phone calls, sometimes 20 to 30 a day, peppered the phone lines of the family court offices in Wayne County. Investigators say Amico was tech-savvy. He's masked his calls with a spoof app, which doesn't show up on caller ID. He's also accused of corrupting the Sheriff Department Facebook page with private information of deputies, including addresses and phone numbers. Amico left the state before he could be arrested. Months later, the following April, it's alleged his anger surfaced again. Prosecutors say Amico became incensed watching a television interview with the attorneys involved in the sexual harassment lawsuit against Fox News. Again, in a series of phone calls, investigators say he threatened to shoot the attorney, harm his family, and blow up the law office on Fifth Avenue. Investigators used phone records to track Amico to his home in Las Vegas. He was taken into custody after a tense 5-hour standoff.
Hi, this video will be explaining the crimes that Joseph Amico has been committing on YouTube for the last month. But first, we need some history and some background on this individual. So who is Joseph Amico? Joseph Amico has now turned to YouTube to commit his crime, and he's using the channel called Vegas Valley Community Watch to do so. This channel is due to get terminated in a few days, but this petition is very important because Joseph Amico will try to get back on YouTube and continue the crimes he's doing. This account was not terminated for the threats and crimes he's committing on it, but for copyright infringement. That's why it's very important that we bring this attention to YouTube so they can prevent him from making any channels in the future. Now we're going to go into a detailed list of all the crimes that he's been committing in the last month. So here Joseph Amico is saying there's a bounty of $1,000 cash plus 2 MacBook Pros for videos of Frauditor Troll and their children, which by the way are 1- and 3-year-old. At the bottom, he's also providing what he thinks is our address and inciting people to show up to our house to harass our children. Even though doxing itself is not illegal, because of the circumstances around the doxing, this becomes a cyber stalking case. So in Nevada, cyber stalking becomes a criminal offense when the stalker uses text messages, emails, or other electronic media to harass victims to the point that they reasonably feel frightened for their safety. The offense is prosecuted as a Category C felony with a sentence of 1 to 5 years in state prison and a fine of up to $10,000. The second crime was committed during a live stream, where he threatened to show up at our kids' daycare with criminal intent. Here, take a look.
Dude, little kids. Hey, this fat
Don't
bitch.
speak
Hey,
until I speak to you.
I'm telling you, bitch. Frauditor Troll, bitch. I'm on your ass. Hey, bitch. I'm telling you, hey, I got the call out to everybody out there. Anybody in the Niagara Falls area.
So here's another example of the cyber stalking that's going on, although in this case it could even fall under harassment. I'm not a lawyer, I don't pretend to be one, but this is very evident. Anyways, let's move on to the third crime. The third crime is that he threatened to get a woman gang raped, which clearly falls under the harassment criminal offenses in Nevada because it is threatening physical bodily injury. So here, take a look at the evidence.
Don't speak until I speak to you. Don't speak until I speak to you. Don't speak until I speak to you. You have to find something more constructive to do with your time than sitting around the house doing nothing. Go get a job.
So that was a minute and a half of Amico threatening to gang rape a woman and put it on YouTube. So I hope everybody understands why we must make sure that this guy gets permanently removed from the internet, because that is where he's doing his crimes at the moment. Moving on to crime number 4, we have extortion. Here's the picture of a letter he's going to send to a woman requesting $150,000 in order to avoid legal actions. So this is clearly extortion because the woman has nothing to do with any of this. The 5th crime also falls under harassment for threatening to cause bodily harm. He says here, my peeps are looking to beat Jonathan's ass, so he's threatening to have people beat up a person called Jonathan, which falls under harassment. So now we're going to move on to crime number 6. So crime number 6 is another case of cyber stalking under the Nevada law. There will be complete doxing on redacted name tomorrow morning. This will include complete address, employment, phone, email, social media site. So for crime number 7, Joseph Amico hired someone to go to another YouTuber's apartment and confront him. So that clearly falls under harassment or cyber stalking. I'm not sure which one. So the way how Joseph Amico gets away with this is he commits all his crimes during live streams and then he deletes the evidence. However, many people have been screen recording the evidence of his crimes. Another thing that he uses is community posts to reveal people's information. And although doxing is not illegal, doxing with criminal intent falls under cyberstalking. So you must help us by signing the petition to keep this dangerous criminal off YouTube. and off other social media as well, because that's what he uses to commit his internet crime of cyber stalking and harassment. So what we intend to do is, once we have about 20,000 signatures, we will present YouTube and other social media platforms with the evidence to make sure that none of them harbor this dangerous criminal anymore, either if it's knowingly or unknowingly. Because we have tried reporting him for the harassment and the threats, and unfortunately nothing gets done. Yes, his account was deleted, but that was because of copyright strikes, not for violating the terms of service. So we need to bring attention to this. I am probably missing quite a few crimes that he has committed in the last month, so if you have any information on crimes that weren't in this list, send it to me at frauditortroll@gmail.com, and we will probably have to make a part 2 of this video. One thing that I forgot to mention is he's also falsely accusing 4 people of being pedophiles and slandering their name. I even have the evidence of him trying to frame one of them, so I guess I'll have to include that in part 2. So anyways, thank you for watching, everybody. We have to make change. We have to get this guy off social media. Please sign the petition. The link will be in the description. Thank you very much.